lot of people don't realize that Ponce de León was the first European person to set foot on the continent of North America. Columbus never did. He only set foot on the islands in the Caribbean and in South America.
He claimed it on behalf of the king, and there was no documentation except for the writings of Antonio de Herrera, historian. He made some grave mistakes in latitude and longitude and how the trip was made by Juan Ponce de León.
So we have a lot of misinformation during this time that we need to get straight. There was a paragraph which Lewis Martin wrote that if somebody followed the compass course across the Atlantic to determine which island Columbus landed at, he would put to bed the exact island.
Ponce de León was a hero of mine. Now, I am a history major and an English major, and I read an article that Douglas Peck wrote about his voyage from Puerto Rico up the islands through the Bahamas and landing in Melbourne Beach, about Ponce de León landing in Melbourne Beach, how he recreated the voyage.
The navigation that my dad discovered was dead on, and so the accuracy was there. And the interesting thing about this is both Ponce de León and Columbus landed at the same island, which is San Salvador. So when he left San Salvador to head to Florida to determine where Ponce de León landed, he discovered that it landed in Melbourne Beach, contrary to the popular belief, which is St. Augustine.
And as a local historian in Melbourne Beach, I said, this is wonderful. Nobody knows about this around here locally, and it should be publicized. It should be known.
But we are not without resources. In 1974, our country's leading maritime historian, Samuel Eliot Morison, having studied Juan Ponce's voyage out of Puerto Rico, expressed his opinion that Juan Ponce could not have landed as far north as St. Augustine, because at his speed during the number of days at sea, he could not have proceeded that far north. We would never have confidence in the route and landing site, he said, until a skilled mariner in a ship of the same draft and sail spread resailed the route in the same time of year. This was done in 1990 by Lieutenant Colonel Douglas T. Peck, a lifetime ocean yachtsman in a deep draft sailing cutter that responded to ocean currents as would the hull of a 16th century Spanish caravel. He followed exactly the northwestern course recorded in the log of Juan Ponce's pilot, Anton de Alaminos, correcting for magnetic variation, correcting as well for the 5.6 degree error in the Spanish compass. Peck's most striking discovery en route was that south of Grand Bahama and the Abacos, strong currents and winds pushed his vessel west-northwest through the New Providence Channel and into the north-flowing Florida Current, or as we popularly call it, Gulf Stream. Peck shouldered his way northwest across that stream until he sighted the Florida shoreline, where, like Juan Ponce, he anchored in 8 razas, that is 44 feet of water. And where was he? At Melbourne Beach.
The importance of correcting these mistakes that De Herrera made is invaluable to society today. Juan Ponce de León has been accused of killing Indians and enslaving them, when in fact, in 1517, Diego Velázquez de Cuellar, who was governor of Cuba back then, invaded Florida and promoted war against the Indians. He went into the villages and slaughtered men, women, and children. History records that and is documented within the archives of Spain. And in 1514, Juan Ponce de León took a trip to Spain to report to the king about his journey and exploration and what he saw in Florida. He could not be in two places at the same time.
So the purpose of this is to bring out the information to everyone, to let them know where Ponce de León did land and the importance of this.
This was the discovery of Florida. This was the discovery of Florida, and really the first European to set foot in what is the United States today. That it happened here on my island, Melbourne Beach.
I spent 15 years browsing the archives of Spain, downloading documents and reference documents.
I teach computer science at Eastern Florida State College, and right now I am scheduled to be the web designer for the documentary that's coming up.
This documentary is important because it's revising and fixing things that were in error.
It's going to rewrite history, and I feel very excited about doing this because history has to be rewritten and it has to be correct.
My name is Samuel C. Lopez. I am the chairman of the board of the Royal Order of Juan Ponce de León, also the president of the United Third Bridge and chairman of the board of the Florida, Puerto Rican, Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. All that information that we're putting together to do this, what we need now is funding for the documentary. A documentary that's going to tell the story of the landing, of the actual landing of Juan Ponce de León. We're going to be using the track that was used during the time that the discovery was made and the track that was used by Douglas Peck. What we're going to find out is that within the allotted time that he did this, both times he landed in Melbourne Beach. Not St. Augustine, but Melbourne Beach. What happened when they landed in Melbourne Beach? What came with the Spanish? What came with them was that they brought Christianity. It was the very beginnings of Christianity. Why is that so important? Because we're a Judeo-Christian nation today. They built the first schools, the first hospital in St. Augustine. What was their purpose and their mission? A lot of people think that the mission was gold, that they were looking for the fountain of youth. That was not in his mission, and it wasn't even in his paperwork. This film could be put together from the general public and contributions made also from private groups and private corporations. We're also a 501c3 non-for-profit organization, and we're asking people to make donations, which is tax deductible. For corporations, for the people who personally want to donate money, there's a write-off. We want to thank everyone who is looking at this, and we also would like them to think about investing and putting their efforts into this project. This project is going to touch and change the lives and the history of what we once used to believe to be true that now isn't. And what we want to do is educate these youngsters and young people to basically correct history and put it where it's supposed to be. If you feel that this project is worthy for you or your company to invest in or to contribute money to, then please contact us. It's United Third Bridge, Incorporated, a 501c3 organization in the area of culture, education. And our phone number is area code 321-863-5165. And in any capacity that you wish to donate money that we could assist you with, please feel free to contact us. Once again, thank you for all that you do.